I wanted to talk to you about Project Broom. But beforehand, I wanted to ask a simple question to every single person out there. And that is this. Are we actually dealing with a virus? Because if you believe this is really a virus, then there's something wrong with you. Do you realise a virus can only survive so long before it actually peters out altogether? Yet bacteria, and there are some out there still, bacteria that we haven't found yet, that date back so far, it's like thousands and thousands of years. So when you consider the fact that, they already know there's going to be a second wave. How? How do they know that? What are they doing that you can guarantee that they're turning around saying, look, we're going to either infect so many people that the second wave has to happen? And that's when we start turning around and we lock everyone down again. Then I began thinking to myself, why did the Spanish flu take so many people off of the planet on the second wave? Then I thought, hang on, it already infected more people than COVID-19 has ever done. So you think about it logically, was the Spanish flu a flu, or was it a bacteria that someone had stumbled across and decided to release into the world, killing hundreds and hundreds and literally millions and millions of people? So you have to ask yourself, what's this all about? Well, in actual fact, now it's been confirmed that Agenda 21, where depopulation of the 95% of the population, whatever that means, 95% of your country, my country, whatever, we don't know, it's got to happen before 2030. So I don't think this is the only pandemic we're going to have in the next 10 years. I think we're going to get one every single year. What's more annoying is the fact that people don't realise that the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation owns shares in the company that's going to deliberately give you a vaccination. GlaxoSmithKline gave Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation 1.2 million shares. Now, for instance, if you look at the dividends on some shares compared to others, you have to ask yourself, well, what does that mean? Well, let's explain it this way. Imagine, for some simple reason, each share was worth 5 cents. That's all you need, 5 cents. That means Bill and Melinda Gates, 600,000 or 1,200,000 shares can get him $600,000. That's simple. You add it up, you add it up, you add it up. So each time you add it up, you add it up, you add it up, you add it up. Yeah. Beg your pardon? Times 5 equals $600,000. Last year alone, when everyone else was losing their jobs and everything else, and there was so much poverty in the world and everything else, the Bill and Melinda Gates Foundation made $17.1 billion last year. That's $17.1 billion. That's just for their foundation. That's not what his net worth is for everything else that he does, Microsoft, so on and so forth. So, but going back to what I was saying anyway, I want to talk about Project Broom. Just before lockdown, I wrote a song and I thought, You know, what can I call it? So I called it We're All the Same Inside. And I thought to myself, that's very apt. You know what I mean? There's so much tension in the world nowadays and so on and so forth. Things are getting worse and worse. Well, since lockdown has been released, things have got absolutely manic, if you ask me, and stupid. So I sat there and thought to myself, what could I write? You know, I wrote the song before lockdown, but I've now been working with some musicians from around the world to bring this project to fruition. It's a 3-track, what I call a mini single. But the first song, We're All the Same Inside, was designed because we're all the same inside. No matter what you look like on the outside, you're all the same inside. Because if you think about it logically, you don't have a heart surgeon for black people. You don't have a heart surgeon for Asian people. You don't have a heart surgeon for just white people. You have a heart surgeon. He specialises in the heart. Same with lungs, kidneys, yeah, muscles. They all specialise in one field. So when you say like you really hate each other and everything else, like, you know, and you're racist and things like that, you're actually saying everyone is. When other people like myself know that every single one of us are exactly the same inside. I don't care how you look on the outside. If you're a friend, you're a friend. I've got black friends, Asian friends. I have friends from school that are Indian and Pakistani. And even though those two nations don't like each other, we were all friends. We went to school together. Yeah? So that was that one. The second song is called Is Someone Standing Over Me? Yeah? It's like you always feel there's something standing over you. Are you being protected? If you ask yourself, you know, in this day and age where there's so much put on or pressure put on people to say, like, you know, how would you put that? To have track and trace, face recognition on your phone, electronic gadgets, left, right and centre, wherever they come from. So I thought to myself, you know, are these people actually protecting me, or are they basically using my location to find out exactly where I am? And if you look at it, it's exactly what that is. They're not protecting you. Track and trace won't help you not get COVID-19. That is a fact. You can say what you like about it, but you can guarantee 100% track and trace will not stop you getting COVID-19. Yeah? That's like they want people to wear masks. In America right now, they are arresting people for not wearing a mask inside buildings. My argument with that is this. If you're wearing a mask and I'm not, I'm more at risk of catching COVID-19. And even if I've got COVID-19 and you've protected yourself, how in the hell are you catching it? You're not, are you? It's just dumbing down the society so everyone has to do exactly what they say. I told you we were going to go towards a socialistic system of things. It's coming. Yeah, and the more people they get on their side, the worse it is for those who don't want it. And you're not going to get it. No, you are going to get it. What do you think track and trace is? I can trace you anywhere I want. Yeah? Can you turn it off? Who knows? What about the other apps that you use? Facebook. Where were you? Oh, look, we know exactly where your location is. You use Facebook in Outer Mongolia. It's a no-brainer. So that's what that song's all about. The last one is called The World Has Gone Selfish. Now this is where everything seems to pan into insignificance when you consider what they've done is to lock so many people down. I was looking at it the other day and I thought to myself, you know, it was the last song I wrote. And I thought how so many people have become selfish all of a sudden. You know, they released everybody on the roads and basically put, how can you put it? People are driving at you. They're driving for you. They don't care, they're just pulling out now. They are so selfish, you're on the main road and they're cutting in. And then you have all these riots. And you think, so what does that achieve? It doesn't achieve anything. It only brings Agenda 21 closer. We'll start chipping everyone. Yeah? Look up the Potter's Clay on YouTube. You'll see it. There in plain sight, in cartoons. And all of a sudden, they switch you all on. Well, they ain't doing that to me. My mind is my mind, and your mind is your mind. And if you care about your mind, you will keep it. But I was looking at it and I thought to myself, you know, why have I called it this? The world has gone selfish. And then I thought, do you know what, Mark? The other day you heard that in one council, this is no word of a lie, I'm not going to say which one, there was no less than 73 foster placements broken down. That's 73 children now being left probably in care homes trying to find another foster carer. But I thought to myself, blimey, that's a bit much over here, isn't it? It isn't until I read this. Listen to this. This is how sad this world has got. Ain Kenny concerns raised over children in care during COVID-19 lockdown. Concerns have been raised about how children in the Irish care system are coping during the coronavirus pandemic. Now, they've already come from lives where, you know, their parents were selfish, basically. There is no other way you can put that. They were selfish. So these children now end up in care. This goes on with the fact that there's been 6,000 cases of abuse. Brand new cases of abuse during lockdown. In one borough. So you think about it, and then you've got domestic abuse. People are so selfish, they don't even think about that either. They don't care that they're now living in the same house, that they've been living in the same house with the same person for so long. But because they used to go to work, that animosity was never there. So not only do we have placement breakdowns, we have marriage breakdowns, relationship breakdowns. These things are going on around you. And to make matters worse, you've got people like Black Lives Matter and Antifa going out raiding stores of goods. Raiding stores of goods. Well, what are you going to do with them? You're going to keep them? You're going to smash them up? You're going to what? That's like all the face masks. Once they've finished all their writing, they just throw them on the floor. They're so selfish, they can't even be bothered to put it inside a bin. Yeah? Inside a bin, for goodness sake. Or take it home. See, because if there was a second wave, and you lot had it, you're now giving it to the people who've got to clean up these streets. They've then got to take it back home to their parents, or their family members, or their sons and daughters, yeah? Aunts, uncles. I even heard on the Richie Allen show, and this really absolutely gobsmacked me, a young person saying, yeah, after lockdown, we're going to go out and kill a granny. And I thought to myself, how moronic is that? What if it was your own granny you're going to kill? Do you people not see that? Is how stupid that is? So that's why The World Has Gone Selfish is a song. Not only because it talks about how people are reacting to each other when in situations, but how the hidden parts, and I mean the hidden parts of all of this, yeah, impacts on everyone else around you. If you're like that, if you want to be selfish, be selfish. But don't be selfish until you're selfish to yourself. You have no rights whatsoever to do what you're doing at the moment. No rights. Rioting, stealing, yeah? And yet none of you are being arrested. You're getting away with it. I bet you one thing, if I went down the road today and stole a pizza, I'd be the first person arrested. Not because I was doing it because I couldn't afford to pay for it, which is what I would do it for, but because I'm on my own doing it. It seems if you're in a mass brawl now with everyone else, you can get away with anything. And the governments of the world are going, go on, carry on, carry on. Because they're going to bring in a socialistic society. And there's nothing you can do about it. I warned you before, it's coming. But the more you keep doing what you're doing, stopping people from going about their daily business who've done nothing to you, is absolutely moronic. You're absolutely thick. You have no rights to go out of your house. Because if it was me, I'd lock you all down. Completely. Stick a tag on you and say, that's it. You want to go out now? You go out with that tag. Because you are not going out doing what you're doing in masses. It's absolutely ridiculous. And you're not hurting anyone else except yourselves. Why? Because at the end of the day, when everything comes full circle, you and all your friends will be the first to feel it. And you think you know everything. You know absolutely nothing. Yeah? We're dealing probably with a bacteria that can probably kill as many people as the Spanish flu. And you're going around throwing your masks all over the floor. Throwing your placards all over the floor. If you've got COVID-19, I'm staying well away from you. I'm locking myself away for the rest of my life. And I'm going to order my food online. Because you're selfish, the lot of you. You're all selfish. You don't see it. You are selfish. Stop trying to play the hard man and everything else in gangs and what have you. It doesn't work. If you really want to make change in this world, and if you really, really want to make change in this world, get together, do peaceful protesting. You don't need to steal things to prove a point. You don't. It doesn't belong to you. You don't own it. If you can't afford it, don't buy it. But don't go out and steal it to someone else who can afford it, who goes to work, does everything they always should do, and lives by a law-abiding citizenship. And they deserve it. Because they've followed the rules. It seems now, the more we don't follow the rules, the more the rules we can break. It's ridiculous. But anyway, I'm going to post this on. I'm going to post the three single CD on my Bandcamp channel. But I just had to get it off my chest. I can't believe how people are dumbing themselves down. Not just dumbing anyone else down. You're dumbing yourself down. You actually look like you really, really need help.